Hello folks, this is Tom Martin. This is my lottery strategy game, Decoding the Powerball guessing game. I'm picking my numbers that are drawing on September 21st, 2019. If you'd like to get my game Decoding the Powerball, then please email me at decodingpowerball@gmail.com. Thank you, and please subscribe. Okay, so the object of my game is for you to correctly eliminate groups of numbers. There are 69 white ball numbers in the Powerball lottery. Only 5 numbers can come up as winners, so that means 64 numbers can't come up at all. So for me, I think it should be easier to pick the numbers that won't be coming up than the 5 that actually do. So to help me do that, I'm going to turn to the 5 strategies of my game. So strategies 1 and 2, the game card color code, and the 50-50 picks. Okay, so if you've never seen my videos before, why I make them is to show you on how to use my game. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call the game card. This is a format that I came up with that represents the 69 white ball numbers in the Powerball lottery. I really don't have anything for the Powerball itself. My goal is to get all 5 white balls correct and win the $2 million prize with the Power Play option. Okay, so first things first is I'm going to go to the Powerball homepage, and the 5 white winning numbers that just came up were the 14, 19, 39, 47, and 51. Again, I really don't care about the red ball. Okay, so what I do is I take those 5 white winning numbers and I put it at the top of this list, and now I'm going to find out what colors they were, okay? So the 14 was orange, the 19 was blue, the 39 was purple, the 47 was orange, and the 51 was green, okay? So I'm going to color these in. So again, the 14 and 47 were orange, the 19 was blue, the 39 was purple, and the 51 was green. Okay, so now I'm going to count how many colors I have. I have 2 orange, a green, purple, and a blue for 4 colors total. Okay, so up here I'm going to make this 368 color code drawings I kept track of so far. And now a 4 color combination has now come up 131 times. Okay, so what I want you to focus on here is the 3 color combination. You can see that this has come up 193 times out of 368 drawings. Okay, so if you do some quick math, you're going to see that a 3 color combination comes up more than half the time. Okay, so to me that's huge because long term, if I just keep on picking a 3 color combination, I know statistically I'm going to be correct more than half the time. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a new game card. So I'm going to get rid of all these colors and start from scratch. Okay, so my color code is right here. This is the red numbers, the orange, the green, the blue, and whatever's left over is purple. So basically what I did is I took the 69 white ball numbers, I divided it by 5 colors, and that's 1 color for each of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers, and that equals 13.8. So my goal is to get as close to as 13 or 14 numbers per color as possible, or a good representation of each color. Okay, so again, I'm going to start in with the red numbers. So I'll start in with the 14, the 19, the 39, 47, and 51. The next line down is the 11, the 27, the 31, the 36, and the 67. And the last line is the 6, 17, 24, 53, and 57. So again, I'm going to make these red numbers. And now I'm going to count how many I have. So here I got 5, and 4 is 9. 2 is 11, and 4 is 15. So up here, I'm going to make this 15, okay? So up here, it tells me how many of each color I have on the game card, okay? So moving on to the orange area, I'm going to start with the 11. You can see that's already taken. So I'll go to the 20. So I'll start with the 20, the 41, the 42, and the 56. The next line down is the 4, the 8, the 30, 52, and 59. The next line down is the 14, which is taken. The 41's taken, so the 50. 56 and 57 are taken, so the last line is the 9, 32, 37. 41 is taken, 56 is taken, so I'm going to make these orange. Now I'm going to count how many I have. So over here I got 4 and 5 is 9, 1 is 10, and 3 is 13. Okay, so I think you understand how I came up with the colors for my game card here. So what I'm going to do is, just to speed things up, I'm going to scroll to the right. And this is the game card for September 21st, 2019. So you can see there was 15 red numbers, 13 orange, turned out to be 13 green numbers, 16 blue, and 12 purple numbers. Okay? So again, more than half the time, a three-color combination comes up. Okay, so that means more than half the time, two colors are not coming up, and that's what I want to focus on here. So the object of the game is to correctly eliminate groups of numbers. Okay, so the strategy here for the game card is to correctly guess what color group will not be coming up and eliminate that group of numbers off of the game card. Okay, so I want to point out that all 5 colors do come up. It's come up 13 times out of 368 drawings. Okay, so it comes up, but it's very rare. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a prediction on what color group I don't think is going to come up. Okay, and to help me make a decision, I'm going to turn to the next strategy called the 50-50 picks. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call the 50-50 picks. So again, there's 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so there has to be a majority of either odd numbers or even numbers, or numbers to the high side or numbers to the low side. So I like to keep track of that and try to correctly guess what the majority will be for the upcoming drawing. Okay, so basically how I use this 50-50 picks is kind of like a roadmap to the 5 white winning Powerball numbers here. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the game card for 1 second, okay, and I need to find out what colors, what they were, okay. So I got an even number, an odd, 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 and odd. So I got 4 odd numbers and 1 even. So here I'm going to make this 413 drawings I kept track of so far, okay. And basically this goes back to October 7th, 2015. That's when the Powerball lottery went from 59 numbers to 69 numbers, okay? So again, I had 4 odd numbers and 1 even. So the majority was odd, so I'm going to make this 217, okay? So out of 413 drawings, 217 drawings have been the majority of odd numbers. 196 drawings have been the majority of even numbers. I'm sorry, 217 odds, 196 evens, okay? So again, I like to break things down into 5 so it shows me the majority. So out of this 5 drawings here, you can see the majority was even numbers, 3 drawings to 2, okay? So as I go back into the history, you can see what's been going on here, okay? So again, my prediction is I think there's going to be more even numbers than odd numbers, okay? Okay, so I'm going to go and write that down on the game card here. So just to remind myself what I picked, I'm going to say that, again, I think there's going to be more even numbers than odd, okay? And as I go back to the 50-50 picks, I got 4 of these to choose from, okay? So the next is high and low. And as I look at this, I am going to predict that the next one is going to be more to the high numbers than the low. Okay, so all the ones in red are considered high, all the ones in low are considered, all the ones in blue are considered low. Okay, so as I go back to the game card here, I'm going to write down, I believe there's going to be more numbers to the high side than the low side. Okay, next one is left and right. Okay, so as I look at this again, you can see that the right has had the majority for a while. So I think that this next one is going to be to the left side. So I think more numbers are going to be over here to the left side. I'm going to write that down as well. Again, just to remind me of what I picked. Okay, so the last one I have is this red and blue area here. Okay. And as I look at this, you know, the red is so far out in front, 225 to 188. I think the blue is going to catch up eventually here, but I'm going to go with, I think there's going to be more to the blue numbers than the red, okay? So I'm hoping there's going to be at least 3 here in the blue. So I'm going to go back to the game card and I'm going to write that down. More to the blue area than the red, okay? So moving on to the next strategy. It's strategy number 3, the individual numbers. Well, I keep on doing that on all my videos here. I skip right over what color group I'm going to eliminate, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with no blue numbers, okay? So again, I think the majority of the numbers for blue are in this red area, okay? And you can see that there's more odd numbers here than even. So another reason why I'm going to go with blue is because a blue number has come up in the last 7 drawings here, okay? So I'm hoping it's going to be like this drawing with no blue numbers here. So I'm going to go ahead and eliminate the blue numbers, okay? So the thing about my game is that we're all going to look at this differently, okay? So we're all going to come up with a different result. Okay, so let me get rid of these blue, okay? So when I block out numbers like this, this means that I'm not even going to consider these numbers for what I think is going to be the 5 white winning Powerball numbers, okay? So basically what I'm doing here is I'm spending $3 on a Powerball ticket, which includes the power play, okay? So in other words, I'm betting $3 that none of these blue numbers will come up in the next drawing, okay? So if I'm correct with my bet and none of these blue numbers come up, then I'm one step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so I'm off to the next strategy now. And that's strategy number 3, the individual numbers. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call the individual numbers. Okay, so basically what I did is I took all the numbers and divided it into 7 different groups. Okay, so here's group number 1. It holds the numbers of 1 through 9. This is the only one with 9 numbers, and of course the other 6 have 10 for 69 numbers. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to update this here so you can see that the 14 and the 19 came up. So I'm going to follow this plane until I find the 14, and I'm going to make this orange. I'm making it orange because the 14 is orange, okay? And the 14 is orange because the color code said it was orange. So the next one is 19, and I'm going to make this blue. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is this 4 right here, this tells me how many groups it hit out of the 7. So in this last drawing, 7 groups are hit and 3 groups had a miss to it, okay? So let me reduce this down so you can see the whole card. Okay, seems like my computer's running a little slow here. Okay, there it is. Okay, so how you read this here is this big square right here. This is good for 5 drawings, okay? Now, the reason why I like to break it down into 5 here for the individual numbers is when I go back into the history of things, it's easier to count going 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on, okay? But my theory is that if there's a lot of hits within this 5 drawings, then maybe there won't be so many hits in the next 5 drawings, okay? So that's what I look for here. So again, there's 7 groups of numbers here, and there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers, okay? So I know that 2 of these groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. So the strategy is try to correctly guess what group will not have the winning Powerball numbers to it and eliminate that group of numbers off of the game card, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with these teen numbers, okay? So again, I think more numbers are going to come up in the high side here, okay? So I'm going to be looking to the low side to eliminate numbers. And since this one already has 4 hits to it already, I'm just going to go with the teens. Okay, so I'm going to reduce this. I'm going to blow this back up. I'm going to go to the game card. And I'm going to eliminate the teen numbers. Okay, and the teen starts with the 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and the 19 is right here. So hopefully none of those numbers come up, okay? So what I'm going to do is move on to the next strategy, and that's strategy number 4, picking the numbers I hope will miss from group 1. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call my group 1 numbers, okay? So basically what I did is I took all the numbers and divided it into 4 different color groups, okay? So when the 5 white winning Powerball numbers come up and I see where they land within these color groups, I record where they land down here in the stats, okay? So for this last drawing, again, the numbers were 14, which is in the blue. The 19 is in the red. The 39 is in the green. 47 is in the green, and the 51 is in the orange, okay? So you can see there was 1 red, 1 blue, 1 orange, and 2 green, okay? The 47, 55, okay? So when that happens, I call that a row, okay? It hit all 4 color groups, okay? But the strategy is try to correctly guess where these zeros are going to pop up, okay? So you can see that the drawing before had no winning Powerball numbers here in this green area, okay? So if I could have correctly guessed that there was no winning Powerball numbers in the green area in the drawing before, I could have eliminated all these numbers and gave myself a much better chance at winning some kind of prize in the Powerball lottery, okay? So I have 15 of these option cards, and they all have the same colors as red, blue, orange, and green, okay? It's just that the numbers that they represent are a little bit different from each other from each different option card, okay? So there's a lot of variables with this, with this option card number 7 here. You can see that this was a row as well, okay? So it's pretty hard to pick where these zeros are going to come up, but I'm going to go with this number 7 and say that no green numbers are going to come up, okay? Now the reason why is because this has hit 39 drawings in a row, which is a record for all 15 option cards. The last record was 33, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and predict that the 0 is going to be here, okay? So I'm going to eliminate all these green numbers, okay, from the game card. So let me go back to the game card for 1 second. Now you can see that I have 5 numbers off here to the left side, and when I come back to group 1, you can see that there's no numbers off here to the left, okay? So basically, what I wanted was this grid of 4 squares across and 4 squares down. 8 squares across and 8 squares down, okay? But that's only good for 64 numbers, and there's 69 in the lottery, okay? So I had to pair a couple of these squares up, like the 8 shares the square with the 66, the 19 with the 67, the 25 and the 65, the 53 and the 69, and the 58 and the 68, okay? So if I get rid of all these green numbers, I'm going to get rid of the 8 and the 66 as a group, the 19 and the 67 as a group, the 53 and 69 as a group, and the 58 and 68 as a group, along with all these other green numbers, okay? So I'm going to do that right now. So I got the 4 squares here, the 4 corners, the middle, this pattern, and this pattern. So I'm going to get rid of the 8 because it shares the square with the 66. So I'll get rid of the 5, 29, and 32. I'll get rid of the 67. If the 19 was in play, I would get rid of that as well. So I'll get rid of this pattern, which includes the 58, and I'll get rid of the 53 because it shares the square with the 69 as well. So basically, in all, I'm getting rid of 20 numbers, okay? So if none of these numbers come up, that's huge. That will only leave 49, okay? 49 numbers. So we'll see what happens, okay? So moving on, I'm going to make another prediction, and that's option card number 15. No red numbers, okay? So the reason why I'm picking this one is because a 1 follows a 1 a lot. I'll give you an example of what this would look like, okay? So that pattern happens a lot. So as I scroll down through, you can see over here, okay? Now over here in this red area, it's never happened before, okay? So I think that it's due to happen. I'm hoping that it's due to happen. So I'm hoping that 0 is going to be here. So I'm going to get rid of all these red numbers. And that's the 2, 9, 18, 65, 5, 14, 7, 6, 16. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 2 and the 9. And actually, I'm going to get rid of the 25 as well. So it should have went 2, 9, 18, 65, and the 25 shares the square with that 65. So the next one is 5, 14, 7, 16. There's nothing to get rid of there. Okay, and now it's the 35, 44, 51, 60, and the 69, 62, 55, 64. So I'll go with the 44, 51, and 60. And the 39, 55, I'll get rid of as well. Okay, so as I come back here, I just want to double check. No, the 69, 62. Okay, so I should have went this way, 62 and 55, so I'll get rid of those numbers. Okay, so that's all I'm going to pick from group 1. So again, I have 15 of these option cards, but I don't want to pick from too many because it's too hard to pick, and there's a lot of variables, especially with this rows coming up as well. Okay, so I'm moving on to the next strategy, and that's strategy number 5, picking the numbers I hope will miss from group 2. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call my group 2 numbers. Okay, so much like group 1, where I divided things into 4 different color groups, here I divided things into 8 different color groups. Okay, so it's just another way of looking at groups of numbers. All right, except with this one, I know that there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers, and there's 8 different color groups here. So I know that 3 of these groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so the strategy is try to correctly guess what color group will not have the winning Powerball number to it, and eliminate that group of numbers off of the game card. Okay, so I'm going to update this one as well. Okay, so I have 15 of these option cards, and they all have the same colors as red, blue, orange, green, purple, brown, gray, and yellow. Okay, it's just that the numbers that they represent are a little bit different from each other from each different option card. Okay, so again, I'm going to update this here. And the numbers were 14, which is in brown. The 19 is in orange. The 39 is in gray. The 47 is in gray. And the 51 is in orange. Okay. So I got 2 orange numbers. Okay. The 1151, 1 brown, the 14, and 2 gray, the 1455. I'm sorry, the 3947. Okay. So down here is current. So there was no winning Powerball numbers in the red area, no winning Powerball numbers in the blue. There's 2 in the orange, the 11 and 51. No winning Powerball numbers in the green area. No winning Powerball numbers in the purple. There's 1 in that brown, that 14. 2 in the gray, the 39 and 47, and no winning Powerball numbers in the yellow area. So over here, I count how many groups got hit. So you can see 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so since the majority of the numbers were over here to the right side, I'm going to color this green red. Color this 3 green. I've been screwing up my words a lot today. Sorry about that, folks. Okay, so here you can see, again, I like to break things down into 5 drawings, okay, just to show me that majority. So here you can see the majority is misses. So when that happens, I color the background blue for cold. Okay, now I don't have anything else to show you. Okay, so over here you can see one. Okay, a bunch of hits to it. So I'm going to color that red for hot. Okay, so why I do that is because when I see something like this that's been really, really hot, Well, I know eventually it's going to cool off. I just have to correctly guess when that's going to happen, okay? So I'm going to make a prediction on where I think the next 0 is going to be, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with yellow. I'm hoping the 0 will be right here in the yellow area, okay? So I'm going to eliminate the yellow numbers off of the game card. Okay, and the yellow numbers run from the 66 down to the 64. So I'll go to the game card, and the only one left is the 24. So I'll get rid of that. Okay, so again, I have 15 of these option cards. So moving on to option card number 2. I'm going to go with no blue numbers. So here's the blue, and as I scroll down, it's been kind of hot down through here. I'm hoping the 0 is going to be right here. So I'm going to get rid of these blue numbers. And that runs from 9 to the 16. And you can see that there's nothing to get rid of here. Okay, so here's the thing. Again, there's 8 color groups, and there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so I know that 3 of these groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, but I keep the stats on all 15 option cards. Okay, and going by averages. Okay, the average runs from like 3.8 to 4.2 for some reason, okay? So what I'm trying to say here is, on average, 4 of these color groups are going to have a hit to it, 4 of these color groups are going to have a miss to it, okay? So right now it's kind of like a 50-50 pick, okay? So I went with no blue. There was nothing to eliminate. So instead of coming back here, okay, let's say that I do get this blue one correct, okay? If I pick another one here out of this option card 2, then the odds go way, way up, then I'm going to get it wrong. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next option card where I have that 50-50 guess again, or that 50-50 chance. Okay, so up here, I'm going to eliminate the gray numbers. Okay, so here's the gray. You can see that thing's got a little hop through here, so I'm hoping that the 0 is going to be right here. And I'm going to get rid of these gray numbers, and that's the 6 to the 35. So I'll get rid of all these numbers. Hopefully those numbers don't come up. Okay, so moving on. The next one is 4. And I'm going to go with no green. So here's the green. And as I scroll down through, you can see how hot this has been. So I'm hoping the 0 is going to be right here. And I'm going to get rid of these green numbers. And that's the 29 to the 32, 57 to the 60. So I'll get rid of the 31 and 57. Hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on. Okay, for 5, I'm going to go with no green as well. So here's the green. And as I scroll down through, you can see that thing's got pretty hot through here, okay? So again, I'm hoping the 0 is going to be right here. And I'm going to get rid of these green numbers, and this is that circle right here. So I'll get rid of the 38, 39, and 63. Hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on to number 6. Again, I have 15 of these option cards, okay? So the next one is brown I'm going to go with. You can see how hot things have kind of been. And the reason why I'm taking this is these numbers have hit 8 drawings in a row, so I'm hoping the 0 will be right here. And I'm going to get rid of this brown, the 8, 15, 24, 31, okay? Now another reason why I'm picking this is because of the 50-50 pick. So again, I think more numbers are going to be over here to the left side than the right side. Okay, so I'm going to go with the 8, 15, 24, 31 all the way down. So I'll get rid of the 47. Hopefully that number does not come up again, okay? Okay, so the next one is option card 7. And I'm going to go with gray. So as I scroll down through, got a little hot through here, so I'm going to go with the 0 right here. And that's the 9, 2, 11, 4, okay? So another reason why I'm picking it is, again, I think more numbers are going to be here to the high side than the low side. So again, it's the 9, 2, 11, 4. Okay, so I get rid of that 4. Hopefully that doesn't come up. Okay, the next one is red. And as I scroll down through, you're going to see that things got pretty hot right down through here. So I'm hoping the 0 is going to be right here. So I'm going to get rid of the 5, 16, 21, 31. So I'll get rid of the 21 and the 37. So hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, the next one is blue. So here's the blue, and as I scroll down, things got pretty hot down through here, so I'm hoping the 0 is going to be right here. So I'm going to get rid of the 227 pattern on the left side, 1621 on the right side. So I'll get rid of that 27. Hopefully that number does not come up. So 10, I'm going to go with brown. So as I scroll down through, things got pretty high here. I'm hoping the 0 is going to be right here. And I'm going to get rid of the 1126 pattern in all 4 squares. And there's nothing to get rid of. So moving on to 11. I'm going to go with red. So here's the red, and as I scroll down through, things got pretty hot through here, so I'm hoping the 0 is going to be right here. So I'll get rid of the 6, 14, 17, 65, 35, 43, 56, 64. And you can see that there's nothing to get rid of. So moving on to 12. I'm going to go with blue. So here's the blue. So things got pretty hot down through here. I'm hoping the 0 is going to be right here. And it's 66 to the 32, 36 to the 60. So I'll get rid of that 36. Hopefully that number does not come up. Okay, moving on to 13, I'm going to go with brown. So here's the brown. And as I scroll down through, you see that things got pretty hot. I'm hoping the 0 is going to be right here. And I'm going to get rid of these brown numbers. The 29 to the 32 and the 57 to the 60. So I'll get rid of the 50. Again, hopefully that number does not come up. So second to the last one, I'm going to go with yellow. So here's the yellow. Kind of got hot through here. I'm hoping that it stays cold right here. So I'm hoping the 0 is going to be right here. And I'm going to get rid of the 34 to the 44. Which there's nothing here. Okay, and the last one, option card 15, I'm going to get rid of the blue. So as I scroll down through, I'm hoping the 0 is going to be right here. So I'll get rid of all these blue numbers, and that's the 4 to the 65 and the 40 to the 61. So I'll get rid of the 54 right here. Okay, and I decided to go back to group 1, and I'm going to get rid of option card number 10, no green numbers, okay? Now, the reason why I'm picking this one is you can see that 3 zeros come up in a row, or even 4, okay? 3 zeros hasn't come up in a long time for this green, okay? In fact, here's the last one, so I'm kind of hoping that this is going to go 3 times here. So again, this is back in group 1 where I'm going to get rid of these green numbers, the pattern of 9, 17, 12, 20. Okay, I guess I can't do that because that will leave me with 4 numbers. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the 41 and 49, and I'm going to keep the 20. So the numbers I'm going to go with are the 20, 28, 33, 42, and 52. Okay, so I'm just going to highlight these. And again, the numbers that I'm going to go with are the 20, 28, 33, 42, and 52. Okay? So I think Sherlock Holmes said it the best when he said it's a matter of deduction. Okay? So if these blocked out numbers don't come up, then these highlighted numbers have to come up. Okay? So what are the odds that I made all the correct picks? Okay? Let me go over the official odds. Okay, to get all 5 white balls and the red ball correct, the grand prize, the odds of that are 1 in 292 million. Okay? My goal, or what I mean by this, is my game is geared up for the white balls. Okay? To get all 5 white balls correct, the odds are 1 in 11,688,000. Okay? So, in other words, you can make nearly 12 million 5-number combinations out of 69 numbers. Okay? So I don't want to give any kind of illusions that this is going to be easy to win. Okay? So another nice prize will be getting 4 white balls correct and the red ball that pays 50,000 plus the power play if you play it, and the odds of that are just about 1 in a million. Okay? So getting 4 white balls correct, that pays $100. You can see the odds on that. Getting 3 white balls pays 7. You can see the odds on that. And just getting the red ball, that pays $4. Okay, I think the odds are 1 in 36. I think it was. Okay, so just going over our budget, you can see that the odds are pretty astronomical for the higher prizes. Okay, so I just want to let you know that if you spend $3 per drawing, there's 2 drawings per week, you would spend $312 per year on a lottery. Okay. So one more thing that I have is the Powerball number itself. I do have something for it, okay? So over in this column here, basically there's 26 red numbers in the Powerball lottery, and I just divided the numbers in 2 for this column. So if you see a blue number, that's low, 1 to 13. If you see a red number, that's high, 14 to 26. Over in this column, if you see a red number, that's an odd number. If you see a blue, that's evens, okay? So the reason why I do that is now I just look at the colors, okay? So when I see a long streak of blue like this, well, I know it's going to turn red eventually. I just have to correctly guess when that's going to happen, okay? So over here, I'm looking at this, and I'm kind of thinking that this is going to be a blue number, okay? And I think that this is going to be red. So I'm thinking it's going to be a high even number, okay? So that means I'm just going to look at the 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, and 26, okay? So I'm just looking at 8 numbers instead of all 26 numbers now, okay? So I'm not sure what I'm going to go with. Probably the 20 is what I'm thinking, okay? It just came up, so maybe it's due to come right back up again. We'll see what happens, okay? So in closing, I want to thank you for watching. If you would like to support my channel, then please go to my Patreon page at www.patreon.com/Decoding the Powerball. Okay? As always, I want to wish you the best of luck with your picks.